Let's now look at, focus on SMSFs as we do with Liam Shorte, an Australian Financial Complaints Authority. Finding reveals that SMSFs are being wrongly classified as wholesale clients. To get across that, Liam Shorte is joining us from SONAS Wealth. Liam, good to catch up with you again. Why are they being classified as wholesale then?
Oh, because a lot of people just look at the members in the fund, and the test for an individual to be a wholesale client is currently $2.5 million of assets or 250,000 of income. And of course, an average house in Sydney nowadays is getting up towards that. So it's pretty easy to qualify. But for an SMSF, it's an entity. So it's required to have over 10 million in assets. And we know there aren't that many that do that. But some people are just trying to get that business, trying to avoid having to deal with retail clients or provide the extra information that's required. So they like to deal with them on a wholesale basis. AFIA's cutting in on that. We've seen a couple of cases now where they were misput into wholesale. They lost a lot of money, and they've gone through AFCA and got reparations for that mistake.
All right. Now, I gather also, Liam, the Super Association Funds of Australia, they've come up with some figures here, actually indicating that more retirees are delaying retirement. Is that because of cost of living issues they simply can't afford to, or something else?
Yeah, look, part of it is the fear. It's you're going from employed, regular salary to the unknown. I know that people will have income streams and they may get some age pension, but when you've never had it before, it's a really scary thing to make that call. And also we're seeing a lot of people who are working so they can still continue helping their children or grandchildren. So one of the things we're seeing those with SMSF clients and with advised clients, because we're planning retirement, 5 to 10 years out, we're seeing more retiring actually earlier at 62, 63, rather than waiting to 67. And a lot of it is because there's changes to their work. Some of them are burnt out. I see a lot of nurses and teachers that just can't take it after 60. They need to step away. But mostly it's just that they're more confident that we've planned with them. They can see where the income is going to come from in retirement, and we've educated them on those sources. And for example, we will if they're on a fortnightly or a monthly salary, we will match their income stream in retirement to the same way and on the same date, so they can just feel like it's a smooth process.
Yeah, I guess as you approach that age, certainly as you enter your 60s, you'd be looking to take the foot off perhaps and looking forward to retirement. Just to be clear though, Liam, when can you fully access your super? I mean, just in terms of what does retirement actually mean?
Yeah, this is just there's some myths about this as well. So the main two that we see people doing is reaching 65. That's your general condition of release, and at that stage you can access your super anytime you want. The other main one now, for everyone now, is reaching age 60 and retiring or leaving one employer after age 60. So leaving any one employer, so you could have your main employer and you could have a weekend job. You give up the weekend job, and that's a condition of release. But one of the things we're seeing is that people are just they're trying to stretch that limit too far, and they think, change of employment is the same as ending one job. Just because you move or you get a promotion and it involves a new contract with your firm, or you might change to a different division, that is not a condition of release. You
Yeah.
must actually end employment with one of those employers.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Now, Liam, we're often always on the outlook for fraud and ID theft, if you like, and I guess that would apply certainly to those with an SMSF, because I gather we talk about ID theft. I didn't realise this, that perhaps some may have their SRN or HIN numbers actually stolen, and that has implications for those shares that they own.
Yeah, look, it's things like when you apply for a credit card or a store card or an Optus or some form of credit. Often they'll ask you to prove your holdings or your wealth and your investments, and people send them the copies of the share portfolio printouts, and it has the HIN number or the SRN up in the left hand corner. They don't think twice about it, but then once these places have a data breach, and we've seen a number of them over the last few years, what happens then is they get targeted. So people start scraping their social media. They'll search the internet to get more details on them. The scammers now will often go around and steal your post. So they'll wait till the postman puts it in the box. They'll go and take it. So lock your post box. But their whole idea is they're building a profile for you. Then once they have enough information, they will set up a fake bank account and then a fake online trading account. And through there, they'll transfer your existing shares and sell them. These guys spend the whole day working out how to defeat the systems. And unfortunately, we need to get to a stage where we're not sharing so much information, or if we're sharing it, we're deleting identification stuff. Just be clever about what you share. Be careful about what you share.
How common is that? I'm assuming then you've come across this with some of your clients.
Yeah, so we had one a couple of weeks ago where a client luckily got a notification from the bank that there was a slight misspelling in his name. And they said, your new bank account is ready. We're ready to send out the card. He had never applied for this new card. And the police told him they were going to pass by his house at the same time the post would be delivered, because they believed what the next step was, that the people were going to steal the card out of the letterbox. And one of the main problems we see is also that your driver's license is one of your main forms of identity, and the RMS are still sending them out by post.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, it's another reason, I guess, to avoid getting everything sent electronic rather than the snail mail. As you said, it's still very vulnerable, isn't it? Liam, of course, we have seen some market volatility, and in particular, some stocks have been hit hard. Interested to get your point of view of how, I guess, the algos are playing their part here, and I guess for investors, they really need to stay the course.
Yeah, look, a lot of my SMSF clients are getting concerned now by the fact that any stock that has a little bit of bad news. Now, I'm not talking the mineral resources, sort of scandal that we've had in the last week. I'm talking about just a little bit of bad news in the way that they report their earnings, and they're seeing 10 to 20% drop in share price, and clients are going, but surely that wasn't bad enough to warrant that. But with the algorithms, in a lot of cases, they're searching the announcements as soon as they come out. They're reacting to that, and so you can see a lot of short-term drops in prices or rises in prices. So we're going back to clients and saying, look, what you must do in every circumstance is consider, is that still a good long-term stock? Does the news that's come out change its long-term ability to earn? And so that may mean if you're very certain about it, you buy that dip, or if you're worried, that you just hold on and see how it plays out over the next couple of weeks. But SMSF investors should be long-term investors. They shouldn't be reacting short-term. But certainly, I can see the way, you look at something like Flight Centre down 24% for the month. Webjet was off over 40% for the month. But more and more people are getting back flying. So these companies are probably going to do better long-term. But at the moment, they're any bad news and they're being smashed.